Welcome to Unfiltered and Unstoppable with Romesburg. Real strategies for real advisors, a podcast that dives into what it takes to scale a thriving financial practice. Each week, we'll discuss actionable strategies, tools, and insights to keep you ahead in today's financial landscape. From innovative products and powerful marketing tactics, you'll get unfiltered truth and unstoppable strategies. Let's get started by building your unstoppable financial practice today.
You ever notice how summer can just completely mess with momentum if you're not intentional? Um, no, prospects stop answering calls, people are traveling, calendars all of a sudden look lighter than you'd like. But before you know it, you start saying things to yourself. Well, you know what? Everybody slows down during the summer. The problem with that mindset is that, yes, you are correct. Some advisors slow down during the summer. That is correct. However, others use the summer to build their momentum, to truly build their momentum that will carry them throughout the second half of the year. And I mean throughout the entire second half of the year. That's the difference. It's while there are some advisors that mentally check out until September, others are re-engaging old prospects, reviving warm leads, creating referral opportunities, building stronger pipelines, hosting unique events, focusing on meaningful conversations, and quite frankly, all of it is to position themselves for a massive fourth quarter and the momentum for that fourth quarter. And honestly, summer may actually be the best opportunities of the entire year for financial advisors that are willing to stay disciplined while everybody else is all of a sudden inconsistent. Because what's interesting about it is during the summer months, people are just naturally more social. You'll see schedules are more flexible, families are together more often. Retirement conversations actually are now naturally happening around the barbecue pit, the fire pit, vacations, uh, family gatherings, while they're out more on the golf course. So the point is, the opportunity never disappears, and quite frankly, it never slows down. It's the activity that slows down. And today we're going to talk about how to avoid falling into the quote summer slump. Uh, and that's a trap, by the way. And instead, use these slower months to really create momentum, opportunities, referrals, uh, quite frankly, stronger production heading into the fall. So if you've ever felt frustrated during the summer months, if you've suddenly seen your pipeline slow down or even dry up, or if you've ever just wondered, how are some of the other advisors staying productive no matter what season we're in? This season's for you, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. So, welcome back to Unfiltered and Unstoppable. This is a podcast that provides real strategies for real financial advisors. I am Rob Romesburg, and as always, this show is all about helping you to grow your business, serve your communities, increase your impact, but more importantly, to do it in a way that creates more freedom and less chaos. The title of today's episode is The Summer Slump Strategy, Keeping Sales Going in Slow Months. And what we're going to break down today is why summer slows down for so many advisors, uh, and the mindset that will quietly kill your momentum. We're going to go through practical strategies that will create um, opportunities during this slower season, quote slower season, and really how to revive your warm prospects naturally, um, how to create referrals without sounding too salesy, and then we're going to go through a simple challenge that you'll be able to implement immediately here. Because, quite frankly, the advisors who win long term, they're not the ones who just work when motivation is high, right? They're the ones that stay consistent even when it's easy to not be consistent. So let's get into it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Once again, yes, summer months can slow down, but honestly, that they are only slowing down because unconsciously you're participating in the slowdown itself. And that's a hard truth. That's an unfiltered truth. Because what happens is people mentally check out. They assume that nobody wants to meet. Hey, people are on vacation anyways. And don't worry, I'll ramp things back up in September. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, September shows up. And your activities like, oh my God. Your follow ups are like, oh my God. Your marketing's like, oh my God. And then it's like, oh my God. You're stressed. The pipeline's dried up. And it's because the activity stopped or slowed down back in June. And that's the reality. Um, the ones that are struggling the most during the slower seasons are actually reacting emotionally to what we would call temporary conditions. My top advisors don't do that. My top advisors understand something extremely important. In fact, I would say it's vital. Momentum compounds. I've got just a terribly terrible generic analogy that I've used for years. I'm in Kansas. What do I know about surfers? But whatever. For whatever reason, I'm always using this analogy. If you've ever driven on the coast and you've seen surfers out there, and we don't have any action going on right now, and they're just kind of hanging out on their boards, and it looks like they're having an awesome day. They're having a phenomenal day. Like, yeah, count me in. However, what they're doing is they're hanging out and they're hanging out and they're waiting for the surf. They're waiting for those waves. And when those waves come in, they are taking that momentum and they are riding those waves until there are no more waves available. That's what I'm talking about. Momentum compounds. So this is obviously e- elementary stuff, but some of us need to hear it again. The activities that you do today creates the opportunities that you're going to experience 30, 60, 90 days from now. So the point is when September gets here and you're like, "Man, what happened?" Think about what you were doing in June. The dangerous mindset trap is waiting for business. That mindset kills momentum. Because my top advisors, they're not waiting for opportunities to just magically appear. They are creating opportunities through consistency, especially during the slower seasons. More importantly, during the slower seasons. And honestly, during the summer months, it is one of the best relationship building and prospecting seasons of the year. Why is that? Because people are living life in the summertime. they're they're thinking about the retirement travel and the family and lifestyles, and man, I'm loving this freedom. And they're starting to experience the bucket life items, the bucket list items, their health. They're thinking about their health. These are all emotional conversations, right? And emotional conversations will lead to meaningful financial conversations. So, as we've coached and preached and begged and pleaded, you don't need urgency in this business. You need relevance. And that's what my top advisors understand. So, what one of the top strategies during the summer slump is what I'll call warm market resurrection. It is the summer months are is one of the best times for you to be able to resurrect old opportunities. So what I mean by that is old seminar attendees, old leads, obviously, call me later prospects, people who went cold for whatever reason, referrals that just didn't ever fully develop. Um, Prospects that might have said something along the lines of, "Hey, you know what? The timing just isn't right." Because here's the truth: when most advisors, when they are when they have completely stopped their follow ups during the summertime, that's why it's so important for you to remain consistent because you immediately stand out. And once again, people for whatever reason just seem to be more approachable during the summer months. Probably in a better mood. Their stressful schedules are lighter. Maybe their schedule isn't a lot lighter, but just the junk is lighter. Their stress levels can be lower, and that's when people are actually thinking, "Is this what I want retirement to look like?" Um, or they're around their families and they're really enjoying retirement, and this all matters. The- And the key is none of this is sounding desperate. You're just going to be simply reopening conversations naturally. So let language like, hey John, your name came to mind because we'd spoken a while back, and honestly, summertime tends to be a great time for people to slow down just enough to be able to revisit some of the retirement conversations that they might have pushed aside earlier in the year. Feels like this is a great time to be able to reconnect and see where things stand. Feels natural. You're not being pushy. The important part is warm prospects are actually far easier to revive than constantly chasing brand new cold traffic because there's already familiarity there, already awareness, already some level of trust, and you're not starting all the way from ground zero. And you know what's crazy is what I have found is that many of you are sitting on hundreds, maybe even thousands of opportunities that you've just simply stopped nurturing. Another strategy would be uh, re-engaging any conversations that you might have had with anyone that just for whatever reason, they might be a client, but they're not fully on board. They're just not a full advocate yet. But but the topics, especially even with the warm prospects we were talking about earlier, these topics are huge during the summer months. So we're not talking about client reviews. What we're talking about is going through some of the things that have already happened this year. So talking about market volatility, interest rate conversations, tax concerns, retirement income uncertainty, long-term care concerns, and I get it. A lot of these things might be topics you're already using, but finding a way to really drill down and make them a part of your summer focus, because many of the prospects or even your clients that aren't fully on board, maybe they weren't ready 6 months ago, but they might be very ready right now. Because as you know, circumstances change, emotions change, uh, pain points change, and that's why the summer months can be such a powerful follow-up season. You're not chasing. Really, it's about timing the conversation, and just saying things along the lines of, a lot has already changed this year regarding the markets, taxes, retirement planning. All those conversations have really changed this year when I'm speaking with my clients. And I know that when we spoke previously, the timing might not have been ideal, But I thought this would be a good time to reconnect and just simply to see if your thoughts or concerns have changed at all. Really smooth, really professional, low pressure. And all of that's highly effective because obviously not every prospect's going to move forward the first time. And, timing's everything. Maybe they just need more education, more emotional connection. That's a big one I'm hearing right now. More life experience, even. And once again, that the summer months just seem to create an environment where people just are able to finally slow down enough, is what I'm trying to say, to think seriously about their future. Another strategy is to take a look at what most advisors overlook during the summer. Well, once again, people are just more social during the summer times, and when people are more social, social environments create more opportunities. So, golf outings, uh, community events, neighborhood block parties, uh, happy hours, youth events, local festivals, obviously barbecues and cookouts, all of that good stuff. And people are relaxed, right? People are really taking time to enjoy their life. Seems like conversations just happen a little more naturally, and that's when you don't have to pitch, right? It you just can become genuinely interesting, and we don't have to focus so much on business conversations, and just find opportunities to be able to create curiosity naturally, which many of you are wonderful at. Some of the greatest lines you could use is, "Hey, honestly, what one of the biggest things that I'm seeing right now is how many folks like you that are getting closer to retirement, just for whatever reason, aren't fully confident about what their income plan actually looks like. When's the last time you've had a opportunity to take a look at your income plan? Or, hey, you know what else is interesting is a lot of people are realizing that retirement planning today looks very different than it did even 5 years ago. In fact, someone that I just met with thought that their retirement was 5 to 7 years out, and they were shocked to realize that they can actually retire this year. That was an awesome conversation. Things like that, and those type of comments really just open up the doors naturally. No pressure there, no sales tactics, just having a conversation, and hopefully having conversations like that will turn into an appointment or a referral, and really a future client that is going to create a long-term relationship, because once again, we're trying to create opportunities for the fall and winter. And let's talk about referrals. This is for whatever reason I've seen over my career that where a lot of advisors can unintentionally make things harder than they need to be with referrals. Uh, for whatever reason, referrals can feel forced, and because of that, they turn awkward, and a client can feel that immediately, right? And the second that something like that feels transactional, walls go up and people shut down. But what should happen, especially in the summer months, it should be one of the most natural referral environments that you could see throughout the entire year. And once again, because people are more social, and they're more around more people than ever. They're going to all the family gatherings and spending time with their neighbors on the lake trips and all of that good stuff. And when those folks are together, they are talking about market concerns and social security and inflation. A lot of things that you'll hear in those circles is, "So, Betty, how much longer do you think you're going to work?" Or, "Hey, Jim, why aren't you retired yet?" Like, and those conversations happen over drinks at the barbecue. And my great advisors, they understand something really important here. Referrals should feel like help, not prospecting. Like the thought process is the clients owe it to their friends and family to refer you to them. It should be something to where you, as providing a service to the community, should be absolutely bold and proud because of all the service that you've provided and the people that you've been able to help. And when you think about that, it changes the whole energy of the conversation. So instead of asking that just terrible question of, who do you know that might need my help? Can you give me three names? You got to totally switch that. So, Jim and Betty, a lot of people right now are feeling really uncertain about retirement and taxes, income planning. I just want you to know if there's anybody that you care about that ever has questions, I want you to feel very, very comfortable to use me as a resource because it's my goal and my passion to be able to help everybody solve those concerns. That feels totally different, right? No pressure, no weirdness, no sales energy. You're just what you want to do is position yourself as someone that is truly willing to help people that you care about. And honestly, you are. And that's when your clients genuinely trust you. And when they do, they should naturally want the important people in their lives to feel that same sort of confidence, right? So another key is don't make referrals a one-time event. Meaning you want them to be created through your educational events, your consistent communication, any of the helpful content that you're providing, definitely your retirement education, really your ongoing relationship building. And all of those things should trigger referrals, honestly. And when they get your next email, your next voicemail, your next text message, your next newsletter, what you want your current clients thinking is, you know who should hear this? Man, you know what? I was just talking about this with my brother. My neighbor was just asking me about this. And they should automatically be sharing those materials. That's the sweet spot. And that's what gets exciting about this stuff. One more thing that the advisors that I have found who receive the most referrals are usually not the advisors that are asking for them the hardest. They're the advisors that are creating trust and consistency and emotional confidence over time. And that's why and when and who people refer to. Not your products, not your portfolios, not your PowerPoint, not your presentations. It's all about trust. The next thing you need to be doing during the summertime is actually sharpening your business, especially while everybody else is coasting. This is something that hardly anybody talks about during the slower seasons. You use the summer to work on your business as opposed to in your business, to be able to strengthen your machine, to be able to strengthen the machine behind your business. It- so, because think about it, your quite frankly, your fall and winter are your peak seasons. We get that, but at that point in time, it's so difficult for you to be able to stop long enough to be able to improve any of your systems that actually drive long term growth. So summertime will create breathing room, and that should be an opportunity for you to, instead of being panicked about slower activity, find that time to become more efficient. So when quarter four get here, you're already rocking and rolling. So this is the time to tighten your follow up process, to improve your seminar flows, to rewrite any of your email scripting, organize your CRM, cleaning up your CRM. Oh my God, what a wonderful opportunity! Really focused on your referral processes, improving the systems and processes around your appointments. Uh, Record your educational videos for the rest of the year and definitely to be able to strengthen your social media consistency too. Like this is here's the thing. The truth is most of the advisors out there don't have a lead problem. They have a systems problem because leads are falling through cracks and follow-ups are inconsistent. Therefore, the referrals aren't truly getting nurtured, and that's where opportunities go to die because the process is weak. And the summertime is the perfect time to fix that. And honestly, the advisors who dominate the second half of the year, they're usually the ones that who use the slower months to prepare while everybody else has mentally checked out. So use that season to build capacity because your growth is going to be much easier when your business is actually organized enough to be able to handle it. So, one of the most important pieces of this episode is how you've got to create daily non negotiables during the summertime because motivation, it comes and goes, right? But systems don't. So, non negotiables are extremely important. So, things like, and these are just generic examples, setting for yourself or your sales staff non-negotiables as 10 outbound calls per day, 5 follow-ups per day, 3 prospect re-engagement emails, a referral conversation, 30 minutes of learning. So those are just examples. Whatever it is, track it because consistency will create confidence, and with that, your confidence will change your energy. And with all of this, we want to create urgency without pressure, right? And this is critical, especially when working with retirees, pre-retirees. So we don't need fear tactics. What we need is relevance, timing, topics that naturally create urgency. So, like we already said, market volatility, tax uncertainty, legacy planning, long-term care concerns, and we're not going to have a conversation with them. Uh, here's how we would do it is, hey, I'm not suggesting you need to make any immediate decisions, but this may be a smart time to at least evaluate where things stand so you can move into your retirement with more clarity and confidence, providing calm, that's responsible feeling, and your prospects will definitely appreciate that approach overall. So put yourself and your staff, put together a 14-day challenge. Doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be overwhelming, just consistent. So, once again, that next 14 days, challenge your staff to reach out to 5 new people per day, have 2 meaningful conversations, find old prospects to re-engage with every day, have the courage and the tenacity to ask for referrals every day, spending 30 minutes on improving or working on your business every day. But the important part to that is you've got to do it whether you feel like it or not. I'm the last one to talk about this, but going to the gym. Folks that are in the best shape, they go to the gym whether they feel like it or not. That's what we're talking about right now. Because what we're talking about is how discipline creates momentum. And like I said at the beginning of this, and momentum is what changes everything. So just picture in your mind where your pipeline will be 30 days from now if you and your firm simply stayed consistent while all the other firms slow down. That's the opportunity that we're talking about. We're not talking about perfection. We're just talking about consistency. And honestly, some of your biggest opportunities this year may come from the conversations that you almost didn't have this summer. So think about that. Um, I want if those of you who are serious about building momentum this summer instead of slowing down, I want you to go out to our website, which is simply evolvewithgradient.com/ignite team. Evolvewithgradient.com/ignite team. And request from us any of these materials. I'd love to walk through them with you. Uh, so, any of our seminar marketing materials, our retirement education guide, social media content, any of our referral strategies, Roth conversion materials, and we have dozens of already built marketing systems for you to take advantage of, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need better tools, better implementation, more consistency. So let's not let summer become a slowdown. Let's use this season to really equip yourself with better resources, stronger strategies, and that way we just crush the second half of this year. If this episode helped you, be sure to share it with your staff, share it with your firm, share it with another advisor who needs to hear it. Because so many advisors out there are losing momentum simply because they're just allowing the season to dictate their life, and they shouldn't. And the truth is, your communities need you. Your families need guidance in your communities. Retirees need clarity now more than ever. Your communities need desperate help making important financial decisions. So don't disappear this summer. Lead this summer. Be sure to follow the podcast, subscribe to your favorite platform. We're on all of them. Leave a review, share the episode on social media, tag us so we can connect with you, and most importantly, take action on at least one of these strategies from today's episode immediately. Don't do it next week, not next month. Do it today, because if you're serious about growing your business while serving people the right way, you will find that consistency will always outperform intensity. I love that. And you'll notice that every single time. And before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you to all the advisors listening today. Seriously, thank you, because what you do matters. You help people navigate the biggest financial decisions of their lives. You help individuals retire with confidence. You help families protect their futures. You help move people from uncertainty to clarity. And in today's environment, that matters now more than ever. And, the thing that's easy to forget, but I hope you don't forget, behind every retirement account is a human being, right? A husband, a wife, a parent, a grandparent, a family trying to protect the life they've worked decades to build. This is all important work. So stay focused, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and remember this: the advisors who separate themselves long term, they're not always the most talented. In fact, I'd probably say the opposite. They are simply the ones that are the most consistent, even especially during the slow season. So thank you as always for tuning into Unfiltered and Unstoppable. And until next time, keep showing up, keep serving, and stay unfiltered and unstoppable. Thank you for what you do.
The opinions herein may be from personal experience and may not necessarily be those of the Gradient Financial Group, its employees, or affiliates. Any results, topics, or outcomes are for informational purposes only. Financial professional use only. Rob Romesburg does not render tax, legal, or accounting advice and is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency.